Hey, you guys, my name is Lala's Journey, and today I am here with Beatrix. She is originally from London, and she's been residing in Ghana for a little while now. So I'm going to have her introduce herself and tell you guys a little bit more.
Hi, my name is Beatrix Saki. Where do I start for? Been in Ghana for 3 years. Started business a year ago. A creative consultant. I run a creative agency called Mad Woman. Don't overthink it. Yeah,
Because in Jamaica, Mad Woman means crazy.
Well, it's crazy creative. That's what it is.
Okay,
so the madness is from the creativity. What else can I tell you? Love a lot of things. We focus on music. We focus on lifestyle. We focus on fashion. We focus on culture, arts. Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
So when was your first visit to Ghana? Did you visit before moving here? And when was it?
Yeah, so I visited in 2019 and 2017. 2019, I was a lot more.
That's right before I visited in 2018. Oh, so how long was your first trip?
I think I was here for maybe about 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah, maybe about 2 weeks.
And how was it what was your first impression?
At that moment, I was not thinking about moving back. I think it was just a case of, let's have a lot of fun. Exactly. I think it was the year of return.
Yeah. No, it was right before that. Because the year of return was 2019.
Yeah. No, so then it was 2019. Yeah. So actually, I just
did it feel like the year of return when you came?
Yes. Oh my gosh. That time, yeah.
What time of the year did you visit?
Christmas.
So I visited in like September. So if you came during Christmas, I could see why I felt like the year of return, because it's always popping in Ghana. Like, you don't have to wait till the year of return. Just any holiday season is popping here. So what made you want to move back? You say you didn't originally want to move here. So what pushed you to do that?
If I'm going to be honest, I had a dream. I had a dream, and it was just about starting my work, but I wasn't ready. And then one day in London, I woke up and I was like, F this shit. Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
I said, you know what, I'm doing it. And luckily I had a ticket there because a friend was meant to be getting married at that time. So next thing I knew, I was in Ghana like 3 or 4 days later.
So what was it that you felt was missing for you in London to make you inspired to move here?
As weird as it sounds, I think it was moving away from my comfort zone. I think even though London was my comfort zone and I could do a lot of the things that, I could think of in terms of like my creativity, it wasn't happening as quickly as I expected. I think it was taking longer than usual. And I had the idea of Mad Woman probably 7 years ago. So it had been there, but I could never execute. I could never start like at all.
Why do you think that is? Like,
I think it's the rush in London and just there's just everyone around, the busyness. You have family here. You have this to do. You have to get to work. You couldn't have time to really plan for yourself.
So Ghana provides you with that.
Ghana provided insight into how, deep I wanted to get into, my career. And weirdly, I didn't even think about it when I got to Ghana. I think it was even more interesting because it was a friend that asked me to, start the agency with her. And I was like,
yeah, speaking about agents, what made you get into that business, and did you start it prior to moving to Ghana?
Yeah, so my Bachelor of Arts was in graphic design and visual communication. My master's was in creative advertising. So it was really something that I'd been thinking about for a long time. But I didn't really think about the agency. I just thought I'll be consulting more.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess and the job, I mean, when COVID happened, everything came to a standstill, and I was working as a marketing consultant for a hospitality, company. So hospitality went down the drain at that time. So I was like, oh, you know what? They paid us a bit. Let me just leave a bit to go for holiday, So my mind wasn't to stay. My mind was, I'll just be here for maybe like a week or two.
So
and
what changed your mind ultimately? Like, what was the deciding factor?
Everyone was still suffering with COVID in London. I was like, yeah, forget that.
To be free.
Like, yeah, you can stay there.
Right. So, first impression, like, what were some major culture shocks for you that you had to adapt to?
So I've lived in Ghana. I did a bit of school in Ghana. Actually, quite a lot of my life was spent in Ghana for a while, but I was just in and out because family is in London. So, the culture shock was probably how work ethics seem very different here.
Yeah.
Like, the work ethics is, oh my God. It was just something else. But adapting was the thing, you just had to like get into it in some sort of way, figure it out on your own, do your thing, not really, adapt to what everyone else
is doing. Right. And that's, a part of the process that I like is living in the West. Whether America or London, you learn this work ethic that can never be diminished ever. It stays with you.
And the good thing is when you try to not lose it as well, because I think that's what's also helped me, go, because understanding that things need to be done and, you just need to get it done.
Do you think this is one of the character traits that's helped you get a lot further in Ghana than you did in London?
Not really, because there are people that came and they left.
So I work ethic overall.
Yeah, I think maybe, possibly work ethics could have played like a major part, but I feel like it's more of a case of when you want something, no matter how hard it is, you're like, yeah,
I'm gonna get it, right? Yeah. So you were a lot more passionate.
I was a lot more passionate, probably even too passionate, because in the beginning I was like, oh, you know what? Let me just do this thing for people. Let me do this for people. Let them just see what I can do and all of that. But then I realized that, people will take a piss at points. So I was like, no more freebies.
So, do you think the environment in Ghana overall helps you focus more on your crafts?
That's a good question.
Or does it take away from the focus?
I'm going to be honest, I think just being able to step out and go to the beach, for example, it was because I feel like I love water. Like, water is my thing. So every time I go to the beach, it's just like freeing for me in some sort of way.
So I didn't have a way to regroup.
Exactly. Yeah. I didn't really have that, in London.
Yeah.
It's harder to get to the
beach in New York.
Exactly. So even my masters, I had to do it like 6-7 hours away, which is like the southwest of England. So that's where the beach was.
Yeah. That's how it is in New York too. Very cold beaches too. It's not inspiring at all.
You're just not even happy to be there.
You're just settling. So, did you take anyone with you to Ghana, or did you come alone?
So I came alone, single.
Still single?
Very much single. But I think it was just the focus of work, personally, I think everyone understands how they work. And for me, I just felt that for what I wanted to do, I needed to focus. I didn't want to be distracted.
Exactly. So what did your friends initially say in your family when you decided to move to Ghana?
Family, it was a shock because I sent them a message. I remember I just put in the group chat. I was like, I'm going to Ghana for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
They're like, what are you going to do there? I'm like, oh, nothing. Just going to, I just want to be away from COVID. And then I think
it turned into something else.
A month passed, and then they started asking the questions. And 2 months passed. The next thing, a year. So you're not coming back.
So did you hear any ignorant statements during that time about Ghana? Because a lot of people ask me, like, "Hey, is it safe? Is it, Did you?
Not really, because I think because I had obviously schooled here and all of that.
Okay, you did.
It wouldn't be as hard. But I think what was really about was I hadn't worked here before. I had worked in an ad agency, so that was the only level of like work experience I had in Ghana. So, and that was even a very different kind of space. So the work ethics and just even how they adapt to work was much more different.
Yes,
so it had a lot more of the Western, culture in there, so it wasn't as hard. But after I hadn't worked ever. in Ghana. So that was my only experience.
Yeah, your first time.
Exactly.
So how easy was it for you to network with other Ghanaian like creatives and people from, you know,
I'm going to be honest and say that was probably the main thing I did when I got here. Probably the first thing.
The first thing.
Yeah. Because I remember so well when I started consulting and, you know, I did my, what's it called, business cards. I was invited to this retreat and there was a lady I met. Shelly, I love you so much. Shelly.
You better hope.
Oh my gosh, I hope
if not, I'll crop it out. Just confirm later.
But yeah, her name. So I think it was a case of I was invited to a retreat and going to this retreat, this lady met me and she was like, "Oh, why are you sitting at the back?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm usually a shy person because of my work. So I just like to, you know, hide and just what. No!
You could tell with the shades."
She was like, "No, come with." So she pulled me to the front. And then I put my business cards on the table because they asked us to put the business cards on the table. And she's like, "Oh my gosh, the name of your company is Mad Woman." And I was like, "Yeah." She told everyone. When I say she did PR for me there.
Wow, I need her number.
Listen, she did the PR. And it was really enlightening for me because I was like, you know what? She taught me something because that's me. I always go to the back. Not because I don't want to be seen, but I just always feel like I don't want to do too much. Yeah. I can do a lot.
So how were you able to create income? You know, because lots of people can network and never really get anything started. So how did you really get it off the ground, your business? So I know you said her connection, but
yeah, I will say, I was lucky to start a job here first. I was working as a business development manager for a fashion design company.
And how did you get that job?
From back. Yeah.
So you met them at From Back?
No, so actually I met a friend at From Back and I was like, "Oh, I need a job. I want to be in Ghana for like, you know, a bit. Just want to see how, you know, working here might seem and all of that." And then he was like, "Yeah, let's talk about it later." So then in the week, he asked me to send my CV, sent him my CV. And then I think a few days later, he was like, "Yeah, he has someone that could possibly help out, with, you know, in the field I'm in." So I went to work, you know, with this fashion design company. It was great. I worked with them for how long? Maybe 8 months. And then one day in bed, I was like, "Yeah, it's time for me to start this agency."
Yes.
But I didn't think about the agency. I was like, let me just start with consultants, see how it goes. Got a really great offer from another agency to consult for them.
From one idea, it's a domino effect. I see.
So then it made it easy to like start building a bit of income for the agency. And secondly, because I was consulting, I wasn't thinking big. I was just thinking, you know, just me. And then I had a friend start to help me because I think he realized that there's something about this girl. Let's take it serious.
Yes. So based on what you're saying, it seems like networking is the number one important thing to do.
You know, the interesting thing about networking is you can network wrongly.
Yeah.
You know.
And how would you avoid that here?
I would say look for your tribe, look for your people, look for your community.
And how do you spot your tribe? Like
based on what you do. So for example, if it's the creative, you know, scene you're in, stick within the creative scene, you know, go to the creative events, go to the creative retreats, you know, engage with people that are in the creative scene. Even if you don't know them, send them a message on Instagram. You don't want to know how many messages I've sent on Instagram I'm going through.
You've sent quite a lot. That's how I used to market in America. So I'm glad you mentioned that. So you have to be determined.
You have to be. You have to be focused, most importantly, because it's very easy to say, "Yeah, that's it, I'm going home."
And who did you send the DMs to?
Musicians,
anyone who needed management.
No, I would even say management, and it was just for me to work with them because of the things that I saw that they were doing.
To collaborate.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
But I think in the end, people started probably hearing about the work I was doing. So then, you know, it became a thing where people were coming more to me than me going to them. So I was grateful for that.
So do you think that it's less competition in Ghana and that's like a benefit in a way?
Or everywhere is competitive when it gets to creativity. I think it's just about your path, really, and just being sure that, you know, I'm not looking left, I'm not looking right. This is my lane.
Yeah.
Then focus on it.
So what mistakes could people avoid it as far as networking?
Don't network wrongly. And
when I
say that, I mean in the sense of you have to be really selective because, like I said, I knew where I wanted to go with the agency. I knew the kind of people that I wanted to, meet. I wanted to just understand how things work. I knew the kind of people I needed to talk to. And luckily, my old boss from Ghana, she also has an agency. And as much as she even kept on telling me, call me, let me give you advice and all of that, I think I got so caught into the country and trying to figure it out on my own. So in doing that alone, it made it more impressive to her because, I never came to ask too much. I mean, I cried to her in the beginning.
Yeah. I
can't do this, I want to go. The agency, I don't want to do, I did all of that. But one day I just woke up and I'm like, God's gifts,
So besides that, what other challenges have you faced in Ghana?
Money.
What type of money challenges?
You don't get grants like that here. It's not a case that you can go here and say, oh, I'm doing this,
and
sponsorship,
get a loan, right?
I need this, I need a loan and all of that. So when I say every check or every money I made went straight to the agency, that was the thing. It was the only way that I could keep it running.
Money management. Yeah.
The easiest way. So if I have to probably not do too much and go out and stay home, I'll do that just because I needed to put money in.
So that's
somewhere.
how you balance work with play.
That's how I balance it. Even the play wasn't even, at the beginning, the play wasn't even that much. I'll say now, I'm doing the play a lot more because, work is crazy.
It's work with work. It's combined with work. That's how I am too. Try to mix work with business. So what sacrifices did you have to make the first 6 months to a year being here in Ghana? I know you say money management, but what else?
Focusing on what exactly it was that I wanted to achieve, most importantly, when you have a plan, you just have to make sure that you get to it. Because I think the agency wasn't initially the plan; it was a consultancy first.
Yeah,
and then I just said to myself, "There's so much else I want to achieve. I wanted to, get into music. I wanted to get into lifestyle. I wanted to get into fashion. So I was like, let me spread it out a lot more
to weigh out my options a little bit more."
Hire people, just get the right people on board to work with. And
so you being in the entertainment scene, what are the differences between the entertainment scene in London versus Ghana?
So Ghana's a lot when it gets to the entertainment scene.
It's
so much. It's unnecessary. That's the point.
So much to do.
It's not, I wouldn't even say there's so much to do. There are things that can make things easy, but then it's just all over the place. So it doesn't make things the easiest way. It's you have to really, really you a loophole into everything. So that's what makes it a problem. But I think also when you have your eye on the right stuff again, you understand exactly what you're going to do.
Bit more.
Yeah. When you have, when you have your eye on the right stuff, it's easier to probably just focus on that. So even in the artist I manage, she approached me, and the funniest thing is I thought she was someone else. So I had no idea about her music.
Yeah.
So literally meeting her in person, I'm like, oh my gosh, someone's about to, ask me to manage, and I don't even know anything. I didn't do research.
Yes.
So then I had to run to the bathroom, checked it. I was like, God, if this is your will, let it be. Let it happen.
So you basically just got to roll with the punches.
I went a roll. I just went with it because I wasn't sure what it was, and it just fell in my lap.
Yeah. So is it easy for you to make friends here in Ghana?
For the kind of person that I am, I like to keep a very tight circle, slow. Just a few people in my mainly because I'm going to be honest, and so maybe I'm not the best of friends because you call me and I'll say, I'll call you back. I'll call you back.
Yeah.
And then I don't call you back for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And then you're like, Beatrix, why are you not calling back?
Busy.
I wouldn't even just say the busyness. It's just sometimes the weight on your head when it gets to being in another country, you know, focusing on just work, you're not in a relationship, you just have this on your mind. So you feel like
tunnel vision.
Exactly. It's like tunnel vision that you don't want to just step out of. But it's not to say that, you know, I don't make time for friends.
Speaking of personal life, you know, Ghana has all these beautiful, gorgeous men.
Where are they?
What is your experience in the dating life? Have you tried it out?
Don't do it. Don't do it.
What is like the cultural differences between guys in London?
Oh no, you don't think about the London. That part, I'll even just stop right there.
It's mostly African men there too.
No, Ghanaian men are actually amazing. I think the right men are amazing.
Yeah, the right ones.
Yeah, the awful ones are awful. But dating, I wouldn't say I've been crazy about dating. I think, like I said, my focus has just been like work.
Yeah.
But then, you know, sometimes there are a few flirts here. Sometimes there are a few phone calls. Sometimes you're like, you know, I don't want to hear anything. I'm too busy.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, the dating scene, I'll just say I haven't really been too keen, mainly because, you know, I need the money.
Yes, exactly.
So unless you're coming with money.
Yeah, and you don't want to put yourself in like a codependent, situation. I think you want to be stable.
For the kind of man that I want is like for him to be more supportive than anything.
Yeah.
Because like I've got my drive, I got what I want to do. Like you're adding on to, you know, what I already have or my experience or just my lifestyle. So I'll say like those are the kind of men that I'm looking to attract.
Do you think you could date a traditional
Ghanaian? Oh.
You're a workaholic. I don't know how that will work out.
You know what? It's so funny you said that because there was a guy that said to me that, he said, what did he say? He was like, spend too much time at work. I don't think you ever have time. Your work is your first love. Yeah, that's the word. It was like, your work is your first love. So I was like, you know what? I'm not even trying to say I can't commit, but it's just that thing that if you understand,
be honest with yourself.
No, but if you understand as a man, you will understand.
Yeah, we're trying to legacy build. It's not just up to the men. Like if you have skills, use it. Women.
Like I don't even want my kids to know the word poverty.
Exactly.
Like
I have a lot to accomplish.
They've never had
Speaking of kids, do you have kids?
No, I don't have kids.
Okay, so you do want to eventually start a family.
Yeah, I mean, weirdly, what life is really about is planning. And I know a lot of people say, these things you don't really plan, but I don't believe that. I feel like you can get to a point and then say to yourself, hey, you know what, maybe now I'm ready to do this.
Exactly.
So I'm not trying to do it just because, age. Right now, Janet Jackson gave birth at 50. So it's possible.
So what is your favorite thing about Ghana overall and your least favorite? I was going to ask you that.
What's my favorite thing? I think my favorite thing
it's the beaches, maybe relaxation.
Oh my gosh, the beach. No, but I don't think that's my favorite thing. I think now my favorite thing is the creative scene.
Yeah, I do like the
crazy.
Scene.
They're doing like amazing stuff. I think now that I'm really in, I'm seeing what I've missed out on.
Yeah. So which industries in Ghana do you think needs some gaps filled?
The creative industry, because I think they're holding it down for the country a lot more than people think. I think
what part of the creative industry?
Music, fashion, beauty, especially. People are doing like so many amazing things, but it's like they're not being seen.
Yeah,
it's like they're not out there. So
what do you think is the biggest challenge? Why is that pose a problem? Like what could they do differently to be seen?
If I'm going to be honest, I think it's just the laid back lifestyle that Ghanaians have. It's the thing of, we'll get there.
Charlie, we call you Charlie.
Yen train. It will happen. You're small. We'll get there small. Let's start from here. I think it's the laid back attitude, and then just feeling like you're doing too much, so maybe stop. It's like they hold back. A lot of people tend to hold back. But go for it.
I feel
like there's a canvas here right now.
After, it's a pressure. You know, as soon as and that's why I moved to New York, to have like that independence, that drive. And I'm glad that I did that, because had I skipped that part of my journey and came straight to Ghana, I would be just as relaxed.
Yeah,
you know,
I know
because
what you mean.
In the south of America, things are very, very relaxed. But London is similar to
London is
New
busy.
York.
London is busy. And I mean, that's my point. I didn't even have the time to relax, to think about my, you know, creativity in some sort of way. So in my mind, I was like, when would I ever start this? And I had bought the domain and everything. So yeah, so I love the creative scene. I think the creative scene is like super amazing right now. There's so much that you're not even sure you could see anywhere else. And I'm being honest, I think it's just hidden. It's not tapped in. Like, there's so much potential here. So that's what I'm loving. Getting to meet very extraordinary people. There's a great guy that's behind this camera. He might come out, you might just see him. But even like people like him, he's into like, you know, film, videography and other stuff. But he's just so many people with so many talents. So that's my favorite thing.
So what's the differences between networking? Well, I'm gonna get into the dislike later, but what is the difference between, just to touch on what you said, networking here versus networking in London?
I want to do the race thing, but
so it's more fast paced.
You know, I think it's just what would I say? I would say it's harder to probably connect with people there. I mean, it's hard in both countries, but I think you have people that you can probably connect a lot more with here. I think based off the drive that they have, is like everyone wants it.
Yeah.
So compared to like, I feel like in London, like you can get it anyhow, anyway, any form. You could try it in different ways. You know, you could probably move to Europe, like another place, and you know, within Europe, and it could make a difference. But I feel like here, if you don't have a passport or you don't have, you know, visas and all of that, it makes it hard for you to like tap into, you know, other opportunities.
Yeah.
But then what I realized is now the country is like making so much use of, you know, just bringing in a whole lot more to allow people that don't even have the access to get some, you know, opportunities of some sort. So I think being able to network here is easy because you can meet one of these musicians in the club.
Yeah, you know, it's an easier reach.
And strangely, like, no one, you don't feel like or they don't try to act like celebrities or like,
right, or
exactly. Right. Like, there's more of a chill vibe to, you know, it's like, I could probably walk to Chris Brown if he came to Ghana here than I could in London.
Exactly.
Because I remember even the first week or 2 weeks that I came, I think Wizkid was in the club, and it was just, I could tell it was just easy.
Platinums, girl. The first trip.
Look at that.
Yeah,
you know?
And he was kind.
And it was just so easy. I could easily just tell, hi, you know. But then in London, I move, you know. There's so much security and all of that. And that's the great thing, actually. Maybe is the peace as well in Ghana. Like, you're able to just get things done.
Yeah. So what do you dislike about Ghana?
What do I dislike? I will say, Chale, everything takes long, man. Everything takes so long. I think that's what it is. Everything just takes so long. Like,
it's like a bittersweet feeling, because like, especially when you're waiting for food.
What's
that's the only time it's
crazy is it's not just one thing. It's everything. It's like you can't get food on time, payments on time, clients to get aligned on time. That's my point. Like, you have to do the extra work to just make sure, like, you know, things are great. Because if not, you're just going to be like everything else. Just lay back and wait for it to come, you know.
So do you think that it'll eventually improve over the years in the future?
Yeah, I think from the time I got here, I think things are improving
already.
I think people are realizing that time no day.
Exactly, especially when people are coming from the West.
I'm telling you, exactly. And it's like they're all coming here to, like, you know, do their things as well. So then you're sitting back thinking, wait, why am I here and I'm not getting anything done? But like I'm saying, I think it's just really down to the layback attitude sometimes we have that doesn't really allow us to like drive to get the things that we want. But
yeah,
times are changing.
So have you ever visited any other African countries, or is this your first?
It's my first, you know.
Really? So why Ghana first? Why not South Africa or
I
Kenya?
think family was here. A lot of family is here.
Oh, because you went to school here as well.
And I went to school as well. So if I'm being honest, I didn't even think Ghana. I don't think Ghana is easy. I don't think, you know, I'm not even going to try and make it seem as if it's the best place to be. I'm not saying that, but I think it's just
you.
Not even. Really? I don't even. Not even. Far from it. I think it's just. This is where God placed me now.
Yeah. So in your journey.
Exactly.
Right. Because people ask me, what's your favorite place? I don't have a favorite place. It's just
I felt like, because I moved to Spain at a point before even coming to Ghana to live there for about like 8 months.
Okay.
And similar, it was amazing. But creativity, I wasn't tapping into, you know. So then it will have you also feeling like, it's not the place, you know. Yeah. So then imagine that, like being in Spain and thinking that that's not what you're, place, you know, right. And then you just decide to come to Ghana and then it happens. Exactly. So I try not to even use that thought that, you know, this place could be better or anything. I just think is where you're placed at that particular time.
Would you consider living in Ghana long term, or do you not have a plan?
I think the agency started here, so obviously I would want like different branches around. That's the plan, to have at least 3 or 4 branches across the world. So for now, this is God's plan. Yes. And I'm just a believer of letting God lead. Yeah. So if the next plan comes to be in Nigeria, you'll see me in Nigeria.
They fine over there.
You know, I will be there. I will be a part.
Next thing you turn into a career woman to a housewife.
I mean, that's also okay. As long as he can handle the agency. But he would be the madman.
Right, exactly. So what is your advice for anyone who wants to move here and tap into the creative field? What steps should they take?
Do it if it's for you. Do it if that's the plan in your journey or your path. Don't do it just because you think it can make a difference. I think that's the most important thing. Don't do stuff just because you feel like things could really change quickly. I would say really, really research, because things are really changing in Ghana. Like, things are changing so quickly. So do your research. Like, even just try to talk to the people that you feel like have some leverage or some loophole into the things you're trying to get into, and send them messages.
Be determined.
Be focused, most importantly. Because I think as much as you're determined, the thing about determination is like you will get it done. But then with the focus is like, I could lose my focus and just think about other stuff, you know. But then it doesn't mean that I would actually still get the work done. Exactly. You know? So 100% I'll say focus first. Like, no,
don't get lost in a crowd party life.
I mean, the party life, you could get sucked into it, but example, what I try to do is like choose 2 days a week. I give myself that. Sometimes it's 1 day a week, but at the same time, it's like you need to play a bit as well. So just don't get sucked into
it.
The energy of, you know, the space, the people. Sometimes people's energy can also hold you back. That's another thing. And that's the thing also with friends. You could be around people that, you know, the energies could just throw you off, you know, work and all of that. So your focus is your thing. That's your goal.
I would like to thank you for coming on my channel. Do you have any final words for everyone?
Final words, I will say, be great in everything you do. Dream big. Life is too short. Life is too short to just not do things, you know. So dream big. have that vision ready from the get-go. Don't overthink it, because life is crazy. Life is getting crazier. The world is getting super crazy.
Exactly.
But Mad Woman is not crazy.
Because you're here in Ghana.
We're here.
So
so just be ready for everything that comes your way when you're probably moving here, and be open-minded and pray, please.
Yes.
Please always pray, because I feel like God is the one that's getting us through everything right now. Like currently, even the business, everything. I know it's just him doing his thing. So just make sure you pray as much as you can.
So, if anybody wants to find you and they want management or something like that, where can they find you? What's your handle?
So, the Crazy Creative Cool for the agency. So the agency is the Mad Woman Agency. My personal account is the other B. So like Beyonce, but the other B. I'm a Virgo, so hello.
Exactly. Oh, I love Virgos. Yeah. Okay, you guys. So thank you for coming on my channel. As you guys heard her, she's a creative. She has done nothing different than something that you can come here and do, which is just be determined, network, have faith in yourself, and also be open-minded, as she mentioned. 100%. So thank you for watching this interview. And if you guys like more content like this, make sure you hit the notification bell.
Hit the notification bell.
See you soon. Bye. Bye.